Official this evening is Paul Navarrete. 2 minutes to go until kick-off. The final countdown.
Grand final weekend wraps up with the finale of the Business Plaza Brisbane Premier League. Good evening everyone and welcome to Perry Park in Bowen Hills for this clash between the Premiers Albany Creek and Bayside United. I'm James Coughlin here to bring you all the action as the 2021 season wraps up, and I'm very pleased to be joined by Alan Kroll. Alan, beautiful afternoon here at Perry Park. We had some drama in the women's grand final as well. Congratulations to Broadbeach United. What are you looking for out of this men's match?
Yeah, well, Albany Creek, they're chasing the double this afternoon. They're unbeaten entirely in this league season. That's 19 wins, 3 draws and 0 defeats. They booked their place in this grand final with a convincing 4-0 win over St George. St George were very good this season, so that's a fantastic win for Albany Creek. And they're looking to make this a perfect, memorable season with finishing it off against Bayside.
Absolutely. Bayside, well, obviously second best this season, finishing runners-up to this rampant Albany Creek side. Last time these teams met out at Don Randall Oval, it was a 3-2 win to Albany Creek with 2 very, very late goals. Do you think they'll be taking any motivation from that to try and spoil the party here this afternoon?
I mean, grand finals, you know, the one-off games. Bayside United, they were very unlucky in that game. They led 2-1 for quite some time. Albany Creek coming back right towards the end. I think they will be very up for this one, and I think, you know, one-off game, there's any chance that Bayside could spoil this one.
Absolutely. This is the first of 2 finals for them with the FQPL2 playoff in a fortnight, but for now, at least for the next 2 hours, all their attention will be on the pitch here at Perry Park. Let's run through the lineups for both of these teams. For Albany Creek, the coach, Steve Glockner. The goalkeeper will be Harrison Royley. Number 2, Jay Brindle South. 3, Cormac Malloy. 4, Sean Lewis. 5, Yuya Ono. 6, Stephen Snaith. 7, Ryan O'Shaughnessy. 9, Ali Russell. 11, Matthew Fox. 16, Jared Moran. 19, Joshua Cartman. The bench, 14, Yuta Kasahara. 15, Matthew Sanchez. 17, Carter Glockner. 18, Buddy Rahman. And the reserve goalkeeper is Jake Hockey. On the other side, for Bayside United, as the sun slowly dips behind the trees here, the coach is Trevor Rodman. The goalkeeper, Eddie Murphy. Number 3, Kosuke Mizuno. 4, Blake O'Brien. 5, Connor Askew. 9, Pat Theodore. 12, Justin McMullen. 13, Aaron Weymouth. 15, Stephen McDonald. 16, Adam Street. 17, Johnny Mathers. 18, Ryan Johnson. And then the bench, the reserve goalkeeper, Blair Hislop. 6, Billy Theodore. 7, Geordie Lewis. 8, Milan Sekulic. 10, Tristan Leake. And then 19, Oliver Foran. Alan, well, the sides are out onto the pitch and should be in for a great game tonight. Who have you got your eye on from Albany Creek?
It has to be Alistair Russell for me. James, he's absolutely terrific. He can change a game. Him and Ryan Shaughnessy really can make an impact on this one. They've been excellent this year, and Alistair Russell just keeps scoring.
It has been a lethal forward line for Albany Creek just between them. They've just kept scoring by my very quick commentator math. 81 league goals between Shaughnessy, Russell and number 19 Josh Cartman as well. That is absolutely ridiculous no matter which way you cut it. Meanwhile, Bayside United, they've got a pretty lethal striker in their own in Pat Theodore, don't they?
Pat Theodore is tremendous. I mean, he single-handedly has probably put Bayside in that second spot. A lot of their games that they've won have been by his goals. So I think if they're going to get a result today, they're going to have to hold on to him, and Blake O'Brien at the back is going to have to be very strong to hold off Alistair Russell and Shaughnessy and Cartman.
It's been the two best teams in the Business Plaza Brisbane Premier League, so it's only fitting that they face off in the final match of the season, but can confirm that the action does not stop here across the Football Queensland channels. I'm very pleased to have you joining us on YouTube here this evening. Here at the home of football in Brisbane, we also have the NPL Women's Semi-Final taking place on NPL TV, Capalaba Gold Coast United. And then also coming up next weekend, the NPL Women's Grand Final. And then just to top it all off, we've got the FQPL 2 playoffs as well, plus the Kappa Festival of Football, which I know we're all looking forward to on Saturday, November 13th. But in the meantime, we've got a football game to play here. So here it is. Bayside United will get us underway, kicking from left to right on your screens. And we are underway in the 2021 Grand Final. Pat Theodore with the first touch, sending it all the way back. And here come Bayside to say, try and start off on the front foot. And here is Zuno with the ball forward and buzzing forward. And it's Lewis there with the intervention, but there's going to be some temporary relief as Theodore now on the ball, and the long legs of Fox, I believe, through, but it's only brief stop. Early shot taken on and saved there by Royley. And then on the follow-up, it looks like a little bit was left in on that challenge there, Alan.
Yeah, there was a little bit on the end of it, but I mean, that's Bayside just trying to lay a marker earlier in this game. That's good play to get space away from Lewis, and the big save early on.
For sure. And the flag has gone up now for offside. Nice early chance there for Bayside as well. It was McDonald with the shot. Which is a nice reminder of it's not just Pat Theodore who can score goals in this team. Intervention by Street. Albany Creek with their red and black striped jerseys with white shorts and a beautiful outside of the footpath. Finds his way with the feet here of Malloy, and he'll take the shot on from range. Beautiful save there. Murphy matching Royley early on.
That was great movement there from Moyley. Terrific play. I mean, he looked left to right. He had no real support. The only option there was to have a dig. It was a terrific try, and has to be equal to it.
It was a very well placed shot as well. It was in the danger area. We couldn't catch it and could only turn it around the post. Now, a bit of pushing and shoving in the box early on. Cormac Malloy just introducing himself to Murphy and just saying good save. Oh, nice little crowd building here as well, haven't we?
Yeah, it's a terrific support for a grand final. Here comes the corner.
There's this low driving ball and flicked on there by Malloy. Yeah, it was Malloy that got the touch off that header, and certainly gives him a bit of an aerial presence at those sort of set pieces, Cormac Malloy.
Well, you can tell that was a tactic there with that corner, the driven ball straight onto his head. He was the tallest one in the box. I think O'Brien probably has to watch that one for Bayside.
Optimistic shouts for handball, and comes through, but alert to the danger well was Royley. And Bayside looking to press their advantage. It's only been 3 minutes, but you can already see that this is going to be played at a very high tempo. Obviously helps that the sun is now set and the pitch is going to be in shade, which will lend itself to quick tempo with the long throw in, and Royley claims there.
Yeah, I mean, it was sub-throw to get it into the box from there, I tell you, but there's no trouble from Royley. You know, Bayside are really just trying to get into Albany Creek's faces here and not let them get the time and space that they usually get in their games.
Adam Street with the long throw in, part of the Bolton setup, a British defender. Certainly a good asset to have if you've got it in your arsenal. I promise not to insult Street by comparing him to Rory Delap. So here's Bayside going again as pressure applied on Mathers, and could break now with Malloy winning the header as he is wont to do. Tall option and it's played out but can't quite reach out for Cartman. Bayside. 4-4-2 diamond setup, and it's not a formation you see a whole lot anymore, is it really?
Nah, most sides go with the 4-3-3 nowadays. They go with that striker through the middle and two support, and they're very flexible up front. They like their strikers to rotate, and you know the diamond formation is kind of more structured. Yeah, but it might play well here for Bayside against AC.
Throw in finding the head of McDonald as Mizuno battling for the ball, but works out to the benefit of Snaith, who's got such a fantastic range of passing. But coming back and mopping up well was McMullen. Eventually it's McMullen who just launches it long, and it's flicked on by Askew. Russell just expecting the ball played to him, and instead that will roll all the way over the byline for a goal kick. This will be the third meeting between these sides this season. The first one, well, I don't think we'll flatter Bayside and call it competitive when it really wasn't, but Bayside did win the FFA Cup, the 2020 FFA Cup match between them 1-0, and in the match back in July, that last weekend before we had our enforced hiatus, 3-2 for Albany Creek, a game that also included a power outage, would you believe it?
Yeah, these games are always tight, both sides always going at it. I mean, Bayside feel that they should be the side on top, I think, but I mean, you look at their record this season, and sometimes you have to hold your hand up. Albany Creek, you know, they've gone the whole entire league season unbeaten. Bayside, you know, they've only lost the 6 games, I think. And on a regular season, that's a pretty content season. But you just have to hold your hand up and just say, you know, Albany Creek fantastic this year.
Yeah, and it has been a credit to the work of Steve Glockner out at Albany Creek. And here comes Jay Brindle South, whose brother I'm told is an A-League men's player for the Brisbane Roar, Josh. A bit of local experience as well, and coming together at the top of the 18-yard box. No free kick awarded either way there. And then down goes Johnson after he claims his heel was clipped. Askew just fetching the ball, and Johnson will return that. But it is just a testament to the season that Albany Creek have had. Is their only loss this season was in the FFA Cup 4th round, and that came off Snaith's hand. And this could be an attacking opportunity for Bayside. This is perfect range for an attacking free kick.
Yeah, perfect range. I mean, is it too far out to have a crack from there, do you think, James? But I mean, it might be one of those floated into the far corner. We'll soon see.
Got the strike power to really trouble Royley if they want to. Will be McMullen or Pat Theodore. It's a fairly...
Theodore fancies it from here. You can just tell.
Yeah, it's a fairly lofty wall to get it up and over as well. As Theodore taking on the strike, can't get it by Malloy. He comes up big with the block, and Malloy did miss that match back in July, so his presence could be very useful as Lewis just slices that one behind the goal. Yeah, the only match that Albany Creek have lost this season was FFA Cup qualifying in the 4th round, and that was against Gold Coast United on penalties in a match that they were very much in for the entire 120 minutes.
I mean, there's no shame going out to a side like Gold Coast United and to push them all the way to penalties. I think they'll be quietly happy with that.
In comes the corner and looking for an option. It's over the head of everyone and now falls for Theodore as he tries to fashion a bit of space. Blocked by Brindle South. Askew feeds it off and then that's headed behind as the cross was looking for Street at the back post by the looks of it, but good intervention by Fox. Just look at the number of bodies that have just got congested at the top of the box and the referee just having a bit of a word with the players. Just the number of bodies you've got there, this might be one of those times where you just have to put it in and just create a little bit of havoc and see if you can find someone to poke it home, a la Tim Cahill in Germany 2006.
Yeah, very specific there, James.
Fond memory. In comes the corner and just missed the header. And now Malloy once again coming up big. Malloy and there to clear it away.
It was actually a good corner. It just needed someone to attack it. Just missed the head of the Bayside players and Albany Creek able to clear it.
Now Street making his way over for what you feel is going to be another launched long throw into the box. Theodore trying to play it through, but they find a red and black jersey, but Bayside come again. Askew standing strong in the challenge, but Moran smartly plays it off the Bayside striker and behind for an Albany Creek throw. Goes over the top and Cartman goes down and wins a free kick. Not a whole lot of argument about that collision.
Definitely a free kick straight in the back there, Cartman. He played that well though to win the free kick. He stood up.
Here is Cartman on the ball, looking to flip it into the middle and find an on-running teammate, but me this time, and Bayside able to clear their lines with Lewis forward and Snaith. And just brought it a little bit, and Bayside could be on with the counter. Theodore looks like he'd stayed on side, and he's got to get to the ball first, and he's knocked over, and not enough there for a free kick. Theodore was looking for the contact. The contact came, but
yeah, I think Albany Creek got a little bit lucky there. I think Theodore was entitled to a free kick. He was looking for it, but the contact, like you said, did come in.
Yeah, Royley was going for the ball. It's just unfortunately Theodore had knocked the ball ahead and taken the space where the ball was. Throw in eventually cleared away by Ono. And a long ball forward with Cartman chasing it down, but calmly headed back to Murphy. It was Weymouth, and here is Aaron Weymouth stepping forward, and Zuno making the run ahead of him, but trying to look through the middle for McDonald. Nothing coming there. Albany Creek back on the ball. And Fox able to get on the end of that pass, and he could spring something here. Shaughnessy, just not enough power on the pass, and intercepted by Johnson. Mathers Sending it back, and Bayside once again launching the ball through for Theodore, but that one just didn't hold up enough, and it bounces through for Royley to comfortably pick up. Played over once again for Fox. Brindle South making the run down this left touch line. He's got options ahead of him if he can play it in behind. And the pressure being applied is going to lead to a Bayside throw in, as Cartman just can't keep that one in. Headed away as we approach the quarter hour mark played here at Perry Park. The pitch completely illuminated by the floodlights here. It's of course the end of a massive weekend of local grand finals. That one's headed on by Russell. Zuno first to it. And acrobatically claimed by Moran. Albany Creek once again getting the throw in, and feels like Albany Creek now, they've weathered the early storm from Bayside and they'll be pretty happy with the scoreline being what it is. Both keepers have been called into action early on, and now the ball forward, down goes Lewis. Optimistic shouts for handball to the Bayside supporters to our right. I assume Bayside supporters.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you're right though. Bayside have started the more creative. I think they've been better in the final third.
Ball through just over the head.
Yeah, they have been slightly better in that final third. Albany Creek, they're trying to slow the game down by the looks of it. They're trying to build up, but the final pass and the opening stage just hasn't quite been there.
A chance to reset with the goal kick, but as mentioned, this is the end of a huge weekend here at Perry Park. That goal kick is misplaced, and it could be on here for now, but just too far ahead of McDonald. Ali Russell is feeding it back, and Cartman blocked off with the run, and I think the operative phrase thus far is let them play.
I mean, that's right. I mean, O'Brien does really well there to get in front and knock that ball out. But yeah, Cartman was looking for the foul.
It's a sort of approach you do want from a referee as well, I suppose. As long as it's consistent, you just keep the calls to what is necessary, and you just let the players be the ones to decide the match.
I mean, I agree. I mean, a lot of players always come out. You know, they're always saying, you just want the referees to be consistent. You know, if you make one decision early on, keep that throughout the game, keep it fair. And I think so far the referees had a good 15 minutes.
We've got a full officiating crew here this evening. Referee, 2 assistants, and a 4th official. And Snaith making the run forward. He's into the box. He can just fashion the space and fire it across. And just evading Ali Russell.
That was a good move there from Snaith. Drives into the box, he fires it across, does the right thing. Big Ali Russell just couldn't quite get on the end of it. But I think, you know, they had that shot from distance from Cartman, but I think that probably was the best chance so far in the game.
A fantastic bit of creative play from Snaith. He's operating as one of the deeper lying midfielders, with Fox pushing forward and Malloy right next to him. But obviously, when he sees fit, see him pushing forward and contributing in attack. And knowing how well he can hit the ball, that's something that Bayside will have to keep a very close eye on. Shaughnessy, beautiful turn. Getting it out for Russell, exchanging passes. Shaughnessy fires it into the stomach, and beautiful build-up play from Albany Creek.
I mean, we said right at the start of the game that Russell and Shaughnessy can create something. That was terrific movement from the two lads there, and they just good defending in the end from Bayside, just to keep track of the runners.
That was something that Steve Glockner has highlighted about Ali Russell as well, is just how hard he's worked to improve his mobility and endurance, just to make him, well, I suppose, take him to that next level and make him an even more dangerous striker. Not that he wasn't dangerous already.
Yeah, he's very dangerous. I mean, here come Albany Creek again now.
Cartman's free in the middle. Can they pick him out? Cross is blocked. Coming back for the second attempt. Clip towards the back post, just evading Russell again. He'll fetch that ball and now look to turn provider. And it's intercepted well by O'Brien. And then a really messy header could keep Albany Creek on the attack. But loose pass picked up by McMullen. And here come Bayside breaking forward, but numbers winning out for Albany Creek. Russell back for Snaith. Beautiful outside of the footpath. Pinpoint to pick out Moran. Now back for Snaith. Pulling the string so expertly from midfield. Malloy can't make the tackle, and now McDonald getting it forward and pressure being applied. So Bayside just using a bit more patience in their build up here, and back it goes. O'Brien wearing the armband. Both number 4s captains this evening.
Both centre halves as well.
Proper centre half number 4. Snaith sending it forward now. Shaughnessy, can he turn provider? He instead might go himself, but just off target. But another warning sign there from Albany Creek.
Yeah, Shaughnessy can hit them from distance. I think he was a wee bit cheeky having a shot from there. I don't think Edward was Brown was that far off his line to have a go, but why not?
When you're confident, why not try and test your luck? There's the intervention from Lewis. Once again, it's going to be a long throw in from Street.
The benefit of this for Bayside is a throw in just as good as a corner.
So right towards the penalty spot, and McDonald goes up for the header, loses out to Malloy. Snaith getting a bit tricky with the juggling, out for Ono, and here's Russell. Just left his pass a little bit short for Malloy, and there's Feld there for the free kick. Russell just making sure it gets taken where he thinks the infringement was. You love the little off-the-ball gamesmanship that you get all throughout the ranks of football, don't you?
Yeah, anything to try and get that little 2 centimetre.
Here's the left-footed delivery from McMullen. It's met by head, and it's in. Askew buries a chance, and it was chaotic at the back. Bayside have the lead.
Oh, terrific delivery into the box. A little flick on, and the finish from Askew brilliantly into the corner. No chance for the keeper, and Bayside take the lead. And you know, on the balance of play, they deserve it. In the opening stages, they've been had the more energy and more intense, and they've got their goal.
And that delivery in, it was put to a group of Albany Creek headers, and it looks like they might have just gotten mixed up about who was going to be the one to claim it. And in the end, it turned out to be very fortuitous for Connor Askew, who adds to his tally this season, which is a pretty decent way to add your 3rd goal of the league year.
I mean, this is exactly what Bayside would have wanted. Get the early goal and just ask Albany Creek the question. You know, it's over to them now. Can they respond?
I would say Albany Creek certainly had the talent to answer that question, but as you know, anything can happen on grand final day. And so 23 minutes in, it is Bayside 1, Albany Creek 0. James Coughlin and Alan Kroll with you. And Albany Creek looking for the instant reply there, with Russell just clipping the ball in. Just in that middle ground between the cross and the shot.
Yeah, delivery was, like you said, in between the cross and the shot, and in the end it's just a comfortable catch And he'll be disappointed with that delivery.
And now here comes Theodore into the box. He can try and make it too if he can get a little bit of space. Fires it in, and it's saved there by Royal. He turned around the post. And Bayside really look like they've got a bit between their teeth now.
Oh, they definitely do. They're fired up. They're looking for the second goal. Terrific play from Theodore. You can tell Albany Creek, as soon as he gets that ball, they are just trying to get onto him, and he's shifting left and right in a shot. Decent strike, and he wins a corner here for Bayside.
It's McMullen coming over for the corner. Put that left foot to good use again. Here comes the delivery. Players making their run. McMullen lofting it towards the back post. Ono goes up for the header, and Albany Creek able to clear it out of the 18-yard box, but only as far as Mathers, who puts it back in just over the head of Askew. And he had found a little pocket of space there once again.
Yeah, again, he's in space, and he's relatively unmarked in there. And it's one of those ones, if you just get a touch, that's your chance.
Now Albany Creek look to their leaders to try and provide a steadying influence, but that pass picked off by McMullen, but eventually he's able to get it to Theodore by way of Fox, now out for Mizuno. Two options in the middle, instead goes back for Theodore, who's closed down quickly. McMullen moving the pass a little bit short, well picked off by Brindle South. He gets a foot to it and continues his run, trying to put the pressure on O'Brien. And O'Brien just playing it all the way back. It's thumped clear by Murphy. McMullen cutting back and out to that far touchline. Mizuno just can't do a whole lot about that as it's going over the sideline. And there's Royally just launching it. Was played off Snaith for the throw-in. And headed on Bayside once again with numbers. It's Theodore into the box and just a bit too heavy on the touch. Well cut out by Ono. But Bayside still in possession of the ball, and Mathers opting to provide a steadying presence and just send it all the way back now for Murphy. And then that is a touch that Street would probably want to have back, especially now because Albany Creek looking to go on the attack quickly, but Cartman with a loose touch. And Cartman back on the ball and out wide. Brindle South over for Russell. Pass is just not sticking at the moment for Albany Creek. Brindle South just asks, where's my options? And eventually finds one in the box with Shaughnessy, but he can't get that pass back for Malloy. Shaughnessy there, I beg your pardon. It was Cartman in the box he was aiming for. Brindle South, down he goes. Looked like he got clipped, but not enough for the free kick apparently. And here comes a barnstorming run from Lewis. Tries to take on Mizuno, but will settle for the throw-in. Brindle South looking forward and taken on the turn by Shaughnessy as he clips that left-footed delivery on, but it's a bit too much on it, and behind it goes for another goal kick.
Yeah, again, Albany Creek getting into that final third, but the final pass, just not picking out their teammates there.
It looks like Shaughnessy is going to be the primary outlet going forward for them, and he does have that ability where he can score or essentially be the forward playmaker as that ball goes onto the roof of the Bill Waddle stand, and it'll eventually make its way back down, I'm sure.
Yeah, Shaughnessy is one of those players that can just make something happen. You can just tell by the crowd when he's on the ball. You know, he gets the crowd a little bit excited because you just know that anything can happen when he's on the ball. But I mean, so far the opening stages, you know, Bayside have defended Albany Creek's front three really well.
The third time they've seen them this year. Now, here comes Shaughnessy with a rocket shot and denied by Murphy. And just out of nowhere, there's that man again, Ryan Shaughnessy, getting it on the left foot, and he fizzed it towards goal. And Murphy could only really just stick up a hand.
I mean, it was a terrific strike. It went in there with absolute power. But a terrific save again.
That was destined for the top corner had he not have stuck that hand up. And now Shaughnessy drives it in, looking for the head there of Lewis, and just over the top, Ono will take the throw in. Now this could be Albany Creek's time to enjoy a spell of dominance, and in it goes, looking for Russell and trying to clear it away, but like the referee actually got in the way there. But now here comes the counter attack, and Theodore trying to get out underneath it, but Moran there, and Theodore with the striker's challenge, we'll call it. A little bit of a smile, Pat Theodore. Snaith sending it out wide and looking to build as Moran dispossessed, and Ono just muscles Askew out of that 50-50 challenge. And Malloy on the turn, looking for an option out wide, but there is no one on that far touchline. So instead, they're forced to come back towards this near side. Here's Brindle South. Going sideways for Snaith. Fox, it's all very narrow for Albany Creek at the moment, and it could pay dividends. It finds Russell in the box. Back it goes. Brindle South, he'll take the shot on, and it's blocked and cleared away. And it actually looked like that shot rebounded off Cormac Malloy.
Yeah, I mean, best bit of play there from Albany Creek. They're very patient in around the box, but like you said, they were very narrow there. There was no one out wide right when they needed it, and Ali Russell does tremendously to bring that down, lay it off. Shot goes out for a corner.
And now Shaughnessy looking to deliver. Looking once again for the head of Lewis just over the top, and it's caught by Murphy, so he's going to take a minute to settle things down now as his side find themselves having to repel what is a relentless Albany Creek attack. Headed by Snaith. And Lewis, he's stayed forward here. Lewis, and now chested down by Shaughnessy. Once again, some optimistic calls for handball, not heeded. Russell looking to fashion just a little bit of space instead. Goes for the back heel, and then a sliding challenge there by Street. And just enough to get in the way, and that's really all they can do. Actually, apologies to Johnson, that was him, not Street. Now McDonald trying to play the miracle ball all the way over that far side for Mizuno. Johnson on now, and Askew, whose goal separates these two sides, chested by Mizuno, down for Theodore, fashioning the space, and just got under that one, Pat Theodore, but there's Bayside once again on the attack.
I mean, Theodore's just absolutely oozing with confidence. As soon as he gets that ball inside, you know, that 20-yard area, he's just looking to have a crack. Up and over on that one, though. Because Albany Creek just give it away straight from the goal kick.
They would be looking for trying to clear their lines. So now with the breeze picking up, the temperature's dropping as well, so that might see if that can increase the pace of the game a little bit more. Shaughnessy over for Malloy, and late arriving support on that far side, so wants to go into the crowd with Russell and Shaughnessy. So calm on the ball. Malloy now on here after getting the pass from Cartman. Shaughnessy chips it over the top, but Cartman looks like he would have been the intended target for that, but just a little bit off there.
Yeah, it was a little bit overhit. I think he probably likes the ball to his feet, straight to him. But Shaughnessy's looking for the ball over the top with that one.
And Royley launches it long, and Bayside, just like they did in that last meeting, feel like they can really get in behind this Albany Creek defence, which is an interesting battle over the remaining 55 minutes. Just ignore the commentator maths there. Long ball through. Ono just stepping back to deal with it. Hands it over for Mizuno. And Lewis is playing it back, and Royley once again. And Shaughnessy once again looking to unleash Russell, who might have stolen a step here on Johnson. Ali Russell, lethal in the box, denied by Murphy, and it's still there in the box. And eventually Johnson, who was marking Russell, able to recover and clear that one away.
I tell you, what a ball that was to Ali Russell.
Top class.
He brings that down brilliantly, and he's well matched there with the save. Probably could have stuck it, either side of the keeper, but you can't take anything away there for the save.
Top line keeping and beautiful setup. Ali Russell, scorer of 30 goals this season. I feel like he probably should have had 31.
I mean, if there's anyone else on that team that you want in the box in that position, it's Ali Russell.
It's played out, so another long throw in coming from Street. You're watching the 2021 Grand Final at the Business Plaza Brisbane Premier League here on the Football Queensland YouTube channel. And here comes a long throw from Street. He's got plenty of targets to aim for. It's a driving ball. It gets flicked on and could fall now for McDonald. Well, there's one optimistic call for a handball. I didn't see anything there. McMullen now looking to free up Weymouth, and out it goes wide for Street, and it's behind for a corner.
Albany Creek just really struggling to deal with those balls into the box at the moment. And the one thing as a defender is you don't let the ball bounce in the box, and that's happened quite a number of times already in this game. Have to start dealing with that a lot better.
Well, they will, and they'll have to deal with another ball into the box as McMullen, his free kick, triggered the chaos that led to Connor Askew's 23rd minute goal. He'll now try and cause similar havoc with this delivery. That makes sense. It's been a long day. It's a lofted ball this time, looking for the head, and it's palmed away by Royley, and a really unceremonious clearance. Looks like Ono was felled there, and I think Mathers just got told that was your one free late clearance after he fired the ball onto the steps of the YMCA behind Perry Park.
As long as it didn't go anywhere near my car, it's fine.
We are focusing on the important things here in the commentary stand. And then stepping on the ball. Now is Mizuno sending it forward on the turn. Theodore trying to return it through Mizuno. And he'll play it off Snaith. It looked like it copped the late touch off Mizuno, and instead it's going to be a corner. I have to disagree with that call, if I'm being honest. I thought it came off the shoulder of Mizuno.
I mean, it looked like it came off Mizuno, and I wonder, he's running away, so I wonder if he thinks it came off him as well. But I mean, it's very difficult to see from the referee's angle.
It was a crowd of bodies to see through. But
that's right.
And Mizuno is just following the advice we all got told as kids, is whatever the referee says goes. And now, a bit of a break here for Bayside. Can they make the most of it? Often towards the box, free header for Street, but he can't get it on target.
I mean, again, it's another teasing delivery. And Bayside are winning all the balls into the box. Albany Creek just can't deal with them.
But also, just conversely, if you are Bayside, you're going to start to feel like you really should be 2-0 up because, as we know, Albany Creek, they can score in a hurry, and in the blink of an eye, it could very easily be 2-1 the other way.
Yeah, I mean, Albany Creek, if there's any side that can get back in this game quickly, it's them. And, if you're Bayside, you want to get the second, you want to get the third when you're up. When your tails are up, but you've got Ali Russell with 30 goals just for Albany Creek, so just got to try and take your chances.
For sure. Another long thrown from Street, looking for a friendly head there. Instead, Brindle South dealt with it, and Street, I don't think that was what he had in mind when he lashed at that ball, but it's worked out well for Ali Russell. Here's McMullen. Mathers competing, but losing out that contested header for Fox. And then a very necessary header from Johnson. Ball just can't get to its intended target. And Askew battling with Fox, and Fox just a little bit too forceful into Askew's back, and it's going to be another free kick.
I mean, that just relieves the pressure for Bayside. They were under a little bit of pressure there, like we said, but that free kick's a chance to just slow the game down again. You see O'Brien's just walking the ball very slowly.
Cole's ball can only find Brindle South. McMullen, and he's cleaned up late there by Snaith, and that's going to be a yellow card as Snaith, they really walk away and say, okay.
He knew that was coming. As soon as he left the foot in, he walked away, he knew it was coming. It's one of those ones, it's probably 70-30. You want your players to go in for every ball, and he just left his foot in. And once again, Bayside chance to put the ball into the box. It's where they've been very dangerous in this opening, this first half. And Albany Creek, every time they get the ball, they're just giving it away. They're giving away fouls, and it's going exactly how Bayside would have wanted it.
Now McMullen launches the ball into the box again, and it's finding the head of Street there, but he got pinged for a slight push there perhaps.
Yeah, it looked like a push on Lewis when they're going up for the ball.
And we should say as well, if you are following along at home, big congratulations to Capalaba for qualifying for the 2021 NPL Women's Grand Final. 2-1 over Gold Coast United. And Mizuno just flips that one over the fence for the throw-in as we've got about 3 minutes remaining here in the first half at Parc de Paris. Some of the locals call it. And here's Theodore. He just lost his footing and didn't appeal for the free kick. Now the long throw from Snaith could free up Cartman as he just tries to put the pressure on and can't keep that one in. Theodore has had a pretty interesting footballing career. Obviously, he's an ex-Raw player, made 3 A-League appearances for them. Made his debut in round 6 of the 13-14 season down at McDonald Jones Stadium against the Newcastle Jets. And if the numbers are correct, he was the 99th player to pull on an A-League jersey for the Brisbane Roar. However, that was it for a little while. It took a few years off to try cycling before being convinced to come back to play with his brother Billy, who was on the bench for Bayside United this evening.
I mean, that is an interesting journey, isn't it? I mean, I'm glad he's playing football. He's absolutely exceptional out there. I'd rather watch him play football than cycle, that's for sure.
We'll ignore the obvious cyclist joke here.
Yeah.
He still keeps getting told to get on his bike by Trevor Rodman every time they play a ball over the top. And here's Mizuno trying to get on his bike, and he's broken through into the box, but off his line well was Royley. Now Brindle South. Essentially for Malloy. For Ono, and now Lewis. Albany Creek just searching for a way forward. Just lofted up towards Russell. Clever first touch to not only bring it under control, but get it in space as well. But pass picked off there by O'Brien, and he steps forward as well. And after that ball came off Ali Russell, it's going to be a throw-in for Bayside United. Probably too far out for a long throw.
I mean, you never know. You never know.
Probably not into the wind.
Yeah, yeah. And with only seconds remaining, I don't think he's going to... Oh, there you go.
But he can only find the head of Lewis with that throw-in, and it's going to be a chance for Lewis now to put a boot through the ball and launches it along. Bayside coming forward with another attack as well. Here's Theodore in the box, squaring it across. Chance there. And a well-timed tackle there by, credit Lewis for that. He had to get that one just right.
That was a perfect sliding tackle. Absolutely brilliant to win the ball there. It's always dangerous going in like that, but he's cooked the ball. Askew, I think, is down there a little bit of hurt, but he's up now. That was a huge chance for Bayside.
It was McDonald who he denied with the sliding challenge, but the two Bayside attackers who are just trying to support the work of Pat Theodore. Almost losing the ball there was Weymouth, but able to get his bearings and send it over the sideline. And now in stoppage time, the referee checking his watch. Just looking for an option, but this Bayside defence has withstood every question that's been asked of it, and over it goes for a goal kick, and I would not be surprised if that is going to be the final action of the first half. It's been a very entertaining opening 45 plus minutes, hasn't it?
I mean, it really has been end to end in this game so far. First 45. I think Albany Creek will be a bit disappointed in the final third. They haven't really fashioned too many clear-cut chances. Bayside will definitely be the happier of the two sides.
And that will be it for this blistering first half in the 2021 Business Plaza Brisbane Premier League Grand Final. It is 1-0 to Bayside United thanks to Connor Askew. And Alan, it's just been unbelievable from Bayside right now. They've really come out and trying to prove a point tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talk about game management, and they're really managing the game really well. They took the lead. You know, they've sat in when they've had to withstand attacks from
announce the host country of the FIFA Women's World Cup 2023, which will be Australia.
You're smiling when you're smiling. The whole world smiles with you.
Happiness is knowing you'll find the perfect vehicle every time. Thrifty, smiles all the way.
Felton Industries is proud to be the official shelter and grandstands partner of Football Queensland. Felton offers a range of premium aluminium grandstands, from elite portable spectator seating to soccer team shelters for players and coaches. Give your fans the best view of the game with Felton's comfortable spectator seating. With sun-safe shelters or powder-coated in your team colours. Whatever your club needs, Felton has a high-quality, low-maintenance seating option to suit. We are the pioneers in Australian-made grandstands and team shelters. Contact Felton today on 1800 834 016 or visit felton.net.au.
I'm Paul Wade, I'm a former Socceroo captain and joined myself at the QUT Stadium on a beautiful sunny day and 16 teams from all over Australia enjoying football, walking, having a great time. This is a benchmark that we hope the rest of the country take on. They've got a competition, they've got training sessions, they've coached referees to make sure that all the rules are adhered to. And I'm sure some of these players have not read the rule book, but it doesn't matter. They've all got a big smile on their face. That's the main thing. Some of these stories I've heard out here, some people haven't played, haven't met each other. They've come in, they train on a Tuesday, Thursday and Friday at 11 o'clock in the morning, and they play on the weekend. Like a couple of weeks ago, they didn't even know each other's name, and now they know whose family they're from and what weddings coming up. What a great way to socialise. And in this day and age, with all the mental health problems we have and the loneliness, the perfect avenue to get people back involved in the community.
The most I enjoy is about actually bringing a group of referees and a group of players together. It's being part of that, you know, that whole group of people coming together to enjoy a sport they love. And it doesn't matter whether they're injured or they feel that they're frail or whatever, they can get out there and enjoy themselves. And that's the great thing about walking football.
When my children were growing up through grassroots soccer, I helped with refereeing, and so that was a good introduction to it. And then I wanted to get fit myself, so walk football seemed to be a good option, and then I entered into refereeing. There's certainly some more rules too. From grassroots, you learn different rules, and then coming into walking football, there's different rules, but the consistency and the safety of those rules has made it great to play, and I feel makes players feel happier about coming on the field and not worrying about injury.
Oh, amazing touch. Spectacular.
On the cross, a towering header.
The keeper's out. The net's open.
Some people can't hide their passion. Don't hide yours. Join our team.
When we say chilly, we mean like 21 degrees.
Welcome back, everybody, to Parc de Paris for the 2021 Brisbane Premier League Grand Final. It is Albany Creek and Bayside United. James Coughlin and Alan Kroll here with you, with Bayside up 1-0 after what was an enthralling first half, Alan.
Yep, fantastic first 45. Bayside scraping it with a 1-0. They'll be absolutely delighted. It'll be interesting to see how both sides start the second half. Will Bayside sit in, or will they go for that second goal?
For sure, and obviously for Bayside, this is the start of a two-part series for them, really, of cup finals, because not only have they got this today where they can play spoiler for Albany Creek, but they do have the FQPL2 playoff against the winner of Nambour Yandina United and Surfers Paradise Apollo.
Yep, big 2 games for Bayside, big second 45. I think they will be fully focused on this second half, but depending on how this game goes, they might have one eye towards that.
For sure, and Albany Creek, they have been absolutely sublime all season long. They've only tasted defeat in the FFA Cup qualifiers on penalties, but in this league and in the Canali Cup, nobody has been able to get the best of them. So now the question becomes, will this be the night where they finally taste defeat, or can they produce something special in the second half? They had plenty of chances, as now looks like we're actually going to have someone coming on in a changed shirt. Just keep an eye on.
I know that'd be nice if you could get over. Yeah, you can fly it if you double back.
On Bayside.
Sydney without having to quarantine.
And we are underway, second 45 minutes, Brisbane Premier League Grand Final, and it is Albany Creek going from left to right on your screens, and a lunging challenge by Fox, got the ball. And the foul is eventually given there after the challenge. So it's a free kick for Bayside United. So the question becomes, who will be the grand final winners for 2021? And right now it is Bayside in the box seat, but you have to remember, in that first half, Alan, Albany Creek had plenty of clear-cut chances, but were denied by some heroics from Murphy.
Yeah, I mean, the chances were from outside the box. There were decent attempts. Murphy, like you said, equal to them, especially Shaughnessy's one with a left foot power drive. I think for more of that in the second half. I think they'll want to have more of the ball, probably a little bit more direct in the second 45.
They'll try and play the match on their own terms as well, instead of really trying to match Bayside's what has been a pretty frenetic attacking pace as they try and move it quickly and get in behind the defence.
I mean, the fast game, the quick flowing football is right up Bayside's alley. So, Albany Creek just got to play their game like you say. Keep the ball on the deck, play it around like they usually do. See how they fare in the second half.
Excellent switch of play out for Moran. And here's Shaughnessy hopping in, and he'll play it forward, and he eventually is dispossessed. Cartman tracking back. And Theodore launches that one out as he was trying to get it out wide for Mathers. Cross comes in, but it's cut out, picked up by McDonald, and he tries to play it forward. Fox. Now, out it comes. Shaughnessy just clipping it through, and there was a pretty blatant handball there from Fox, and I think it was a bit of a volleyball spike.
Yeah, I mean, he did really well the first couple of touches, and then out of nowhere he just tries to, like you say, spike the ball.
It was so brazen, I actually almost thought that I missed it.
The referee's, 5 yards away from it? Bayside have quite a lot of numbers forward here with a free kick.
We'll be trying to get the knot on and find a way through the Albany Creek defence. Some of the Albany Creek contingent asking for a reciprocal yellow card. Fox, the second Albany Creek player into the book after Snaith picked up one late in the first half. An excellent challenge there by McDonald. Shaughnessy back for Malloy. Missing shots from Street. Snaith just putting it back for Ono, who can acrobatically send it out for Brindle South. Okay, Brindle South, strong player for Albany Creek. He makes the run into the box. Brindle South trying to tee up Shaughnessy. And it's deflected high into the sky, and actually it's Cartman who trips up Weymouth. Back for the free kick, and stations continue and just get the ball. And Murphy getting us back underway, and when these sides met earlier in the BPL season, such was Murphy's commitment to the team. He actually flew back from a boys' weekend on Hamilton Island to play the game and then flew back up on Sunday.
That's commitment to your football club, I tell you.
Yeah, thankfully there were no flight delays that evening. Right now he's come up big for his club in the grand final. But the job is far from done yet. Still another 40 minutes to survive. And then there's a slight slice there from O'Brien. Could lead to an opportunity now for Albany Creek, and it's clipped in. And Murphy Brown, it's there, and it's eventually in. Do we have the equaliser? The referee is calling it. It is 1-1. After Murphy was clipped at the near post, and he is not happy with that decision.
I mean, you always say it was a great ball in the box and it's a good finish, but you always say, you know, referees usually give those type of decisions when the tackle's on the keeper. Albany Creek will be absolutely delighted with that. That's exactly what they'd have wanted at the start of the second half.
And so Ryan Shaughnessy has been credited with the goal by the PA announcer, so we will do the exact same for him here. And so, a very interesting moment that will be talked about for quite some time, I'm sure, but as if you're going the other way, you ask, was Murphy really strong enough in that challenge at the near post?
Yeah, and did he have the ball under control? I'd really like to see that one back again. And my first initial thought was it was a foul on Murphy, but
now here come Albany Creek. They've got the equaliser. Now they're going to try and go ahead. Forward is Albany Creek. Back it goes. Fox plays it off the back. Albany Creek has picked up a little bit, and now they've got an attacking free kick as a free kick is called against Street. And this is perfect striking range for the 2021 premiers. It's any number of players who can take it. Here's Shaughnessy, looks like he's addressing the ball. Quickly checking the stream for that one, Alan.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it back again. It looks like he actually does have the ball in his hand and then he's bundled over.
Fair enough. I mean, well, referee's decision, that's final. And There we go. Here comes the free kick. Shaughnessy bends it in and just goes wide.
And that is a fantastic free kick. You know, it's very difficult from that range to get the ball up and over and on target with enough pace to beat the keeper.
And he went very close with that. So now, the goal's been given. That's not getting changed. We are level here.
You know, it's important for Bayside not to feel hard done by that decision, and just to keep pushing on, because, you know, they've played well. They've really contained Albany Creek. They've just got to try and keep that up, get back in the game.
For sure. And make their passes stick as Malloy had to work his way around the referee. Just lofted up high into the night sky looking for Theodore, and oh no, brings that one under control. Here's Shaughnessy. He can play the ball through, can't get it by Johnson. And then down goes Johnson. The referee signals the advantage. Theodore gets on the end of it, and he's able to take it away from Brindle South. Looking for space. Deflected cross, and it's cleared away by Fox. Street just asks for a player to come short. Instead, he'll send it forward, and it's flicked on. Eventually, Theodore brings it back under control. Fires it just across the face of goal. Theodore goes close.
Oh, huge chance. So what a ball in the box. Great control. The flick on to Theodore. It finds its way through to him. And I tell you what, from this angle, that looked like it was nestling into the bottom corner. That was the best chance for Bayside in the second half, James.
And an excellent bring down as well by Askew to really create that opportunity for Theodore.
I mean, yeah, the ball was whipped at Askew, and he's managed to bring that down on his chest and flick that one on.
Now it's chipped forward. Russell, Murphy's off his line. Russell, down he goes in the box. And as that sort of challenge has been called all evening, it's play on. Russell, he's remonstrating now with O'Brien, and he'll have to keep his temper in check.
Yeah, you have to be careful. I mean, like we said at the start, you know, the referee's word is law in this game. The ball of the, I mean, Russell, from our angle, it looked like it should have been a penalty, but, you know, Russell's just got to get on with it.
See some of the Albany Creek fans just interacting with Murphy. Askew win the header against Lewis. The atmosphere is really starting to pick up here at Perry Park. This is BPL Grand Final. Sits on a knife's edge at the moment. Always making the forward run. They're picking him out. It's headed away by Weymouth. And then a fairly impressive fall from Malloy. With Malloy at the back. I believe again that was Weymouth, and it all ends with a pat on the back. So,
I mean, the tempo's definitely lifted since Albany Creek got that equaliser.
The intensity as well. You can really feel the tension rising on the pitch. Both sides know the stakes of what's going on tonight.
Most definitely.
Murphy just can't keep that one on the right side of the touchline. And Malloy, like he took that throw in on the wrong side of halfway, so try again. Malloy so hard to get off the ball. Concedes a throw in, and now Brindle South. Throw in, and now here it is with Cartman. He tries to burst through. Malloy once again making his presence known in this match, and the referee's call is a corner. Cormac Malloy getting the benefit of the call there.
I mean, my initial thought is that's going out for a goal kick, but You can see the referee looking across here at the far side linesman for some help, and
didn't get any.
Didn't get any. So,
but also, I think the lunge there from Weymouth is probably what swayed the decision.
Most definitely, yeah. You can see the tackle coming in. You can see why referee's giving it. Huge chance for Albany Creek.
Now Shaughnessy with the corner. It's a low flat delivery towards the back post. Free header there, and it's behind off the head of Street.
I mean, Shaughnessy's deliveries have been absolutely tremendous, whipping that in with pace. I think it was Ali Russell that got the header there.
He did.
And yeah, headed off. That's why you always have a man on the post.
Even Theodore's dropping a little bit deeper to allow Askew to pitch in. Some in-swing delivery this time towards the back post, and Albany Creek have a man waiting there. It's clipped in once again towards Malloy. Theodore brings it under control. This is not the area he'd be wanting to take possession of the ball, but he's able to get a throw in from that.
I mean, he does really well. You know, he's got no one else in front of him, and he wins the throw for his side just to try and calm the game down and relieve the pressure.
Now knocked on by Askew, and he goes for a little spin and slip. Beautiful ball through, able to find Mizuno. And he just blindly hits it into the box, and Royally is waiting there with open arms. Ball forward now, Cartman. Can't quite wrap his foot around that one, but still going to work out for Albany Creek. Around on the ball and exchanging passes with Snaith, and now over for Fox. Past the hour mark now as Fox flips it in towards the back post, finds the head of Shaughnessy, and just can't get it down. It's over the bar. And Albany Creek, this is their time now. They need to capitalise on this ascendancy, don't they?
They really need to take their chances here when they're coming. You can definitely say their play has improved in the final third in the second half. They're starting to create chances and open up Bayside United. Delivery was tremendous, and Ryan Shaughnessy, he's probably not the one you want in the air, but over it goes.
It will do, and we do now have a substitution coming on. Number 8, Masters, replacing 3, Malloy. This midfield for Albany Creek is a little bit of a makeshift, with no disrespect to the players that are filling in, but Liam Brown has been described as one of the best dribblers in the competition. Unfortunately broke his collarbone, so he's unable to play tonight. He was a massive threat in that last meeting. So Albany Creek first to go to the bench, but faith as well from Steve Glockner. Brindle South drills that one across, but throwing Masters on in midfield and letting Fox and Snaith stay on, both of whom are on yellow cards. Some rather powerful headers there, just going back and forth. Masters infield workhorse, and Steve Glockner described him as the most underrated player in the Brisbane Premier League. Still looking for his first goal of the season, and it'd be a fantastic time to pitch in with that, wouldn't it?
I mean, if he scores here, he'll be absolutely delighted. And he'll no longer be the most underrated player, that's for sure.
Beautiful move there from Moran.
Yeah, Albany Creek just starting to take control of this game the last 5 minutes.
Bayside haven't been able to get on the ball.
No, they're dropping deeper and deeper and deeper as this game's going on, and that can only spell danger.
Sure, and then cold cross in and wasn't met, and the header from Cartman is behind for a corner, for a goal kick, I beg your pardon. No debate with that one. It's just two players going for the ball, and
Cartman just beats Murphy to it, I think, there. Both players entitled to go for it. It was a great delivery.
And it was a hefty collision as well. You could almost hear it.
Yeah. Thankfully, both players are okay.
And speaking of the fatigue for Bayside as well, you can see players starting to cramp up as well. I believe Mizuno is down on the edge of the 18-yard box, and a few players going over to the bench just to take some more water on board. While the sun is down, it is still quite muggy here.
I mean, the temperatures dropped dramatically, like you said, and you made the comment about maybe that would lift the game, and it certainly has. Players are really lift that tempo in the second half.
But now perhaps they are starting to pay a little bit for that. Mizuno just check on his well-being, and looks like he's going to require a little bit of treatment, and we'll just see what Trevor Rodman chooses to do. He does have pretty solid options on his bench, should he choose to go to it. So, a brief break here. So, while we do that, we'll just say quick congratulations. Cap 3 winners, Tarragindi Tigers defeating the Brighton Bulldogs. Cap 2, North Brisbane defeating Redcliffe Dolphins. Cap Women's, Taringa defeating Ipswich Knights. And then Cap 1, Logan Metro defeating North Pine. Those streams are all available on demand on the Football Queensland YouTube. And, as well, big congratulations to Broadbeach, who defeated AC Carina in the Brisbane Women's Premier League Grand Final barely 2 hours ago. As we hear from the spectators just below our commentary position. So Mizuno on the sideline, and he will receive treatment, but it looks like his night may come to an end, possibly at the next break. And then it was down goes Mathers, but a whole lot in it, and a high foot caught against McDonald there. But now we do have that change being confirmed. Tristan Leake will replace Mizuno. Leak on in place of Mizuno. First change for Bayside United. Here comes and actually cleared away. Return played through. Theodore Flagg is down. He looked like he was onside there, and I'm not quite sure if he realised that there was a player behind him playing him on.
Yeah, I mean, from our box here, he definitely looked onside. You know, we always talk about playing the whistle there, Theodore. He's got to keep running on to that. That was probably. I mean, Bayside haven't really gone up the field this second half. That was a good opportunity getting behind.
That would have been the chance. And here's Cartman going for the ball now, and Murphy able to pick it up. And
that was brave goalkeeping there from Murphy.
Yeah, anytime you throw yourself at the feet of the striker, a lot more things can go wrong than go right. As Weymouth launches it, Theodore battling for it there with Lewis, and Lewis wins out. Fox. And here's Theodore, and it's bumped into by Shaughnessy, holds his feet. And then ball through, and Askew, he's in space, and it's out of the box, and eventually Royley able to bring it under control. Could have gone anywhere with that deflection off the clearance.
I mean, Royley does really well. I mean, you can see as soon as that ball's through, he's right onto it. He does get a little bit lucky, but there's a little bit of sustained pressure from Bayside.
It is. It looks like they've woken up a little bit, and Theodore starting to get a bit frustrated. He's been quiet in the second half. It's knotted on. McDonald able to play it for Snaith, who just launches it. It's a throw in. Moran. It's a return ball and over the sideline it goes. So here comes Street. Need we give you a warning of what's about to happen here? So low throw, this time a little bit of a change up, and Lewis claims he got caught by a skew there, and I'll let the pictures do the talking of where he claims to have been clipped.
He's up and running now, he's okay.
Brindle South just sees that one over the sideline, and now Albany Creek for the chance to start over. And here comes Fox making a forward run. He'll get around Weymouth. He's forced to check his run as he's not afforded a whole lot of space as the Bayside defender holds his own in that challenge. It's going to be a goal kick. Strong work there from Weymouth.
That was absolutely tremendous defending from Weymouth.
No-nonsense defender he was described as, and I'd say that passage of play pretty much sums it up.
That sums it up brilliantly. I mean, he holds off two players there in the end, doesn't he? Stopping that delivery and wins a goal kick. That is exactly what you need in a game like this.
Actually, Murphy has managed to get the ball with one of the Albany, what looks to be Albany Creek fans who decided to jump on the pitch just to retrieve it. Lofted forward, but Brindle South, the only player underneath. Snaith unable to bring that one under control, and now Bayside with a chance to break. Going forward for Theodore, and he'll head it forward for McDonald. Too far forward for McDonald, and there is royally to claim. Sprayed out wide now for Morant. And coming together in midfield with Mathers calling for the free kick, but nothing coming of that. Some pressure on Snaith and sprayed out wide for Brindle South. He tries to clip it inside for Masters, but nothing coming. And the offside flag has gone up against McDonald. And they both knew that was coming.
Yeah, they both knew, definitely.
And Masters bringing it under control. Creek on the turn. There's a sliver of space, but Bayside once again getting in the way, but now here comes Bayside on the counter, and McDonald just losing out on the ball, and he and Theodore just a beat off there.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good chance there if they could just get the ball under control. I think with McDonald, they couldn't bring it down there with Theodore's pass.
Space was on, but the initial intervention by Ono is what made the difference there.
It's just not quite happening for Bayside in the second half.
Snaith spraying it out wide for Shaughnessy. And he'll try and curl it in, but won't get the bend on that. Where'd you say your car was parked again?
Yeah, I might have to have a few words with him after the game now. But again, I mean, Shaughnessy gets the ball edge of the box, and he's always looking to have a crack on goal. Puts it onto his favourite left side, and up and over this time.
It will take a brave defender to give him too many more opportunities like that. They've seen just how dangerous he can be. Once again, and Askew just too much on it for Theodore. Askew, you feel like he's going to be the one that's probably going to have the most to say in the final 15 or so minutes of regulation time here.
I mean, he has been involved quite a bit for Bayside.
And it does look like he's got a second win, which he's going to have to put to good use to try and chase down. Here's Shaughnessy taking the shot on. Well saved, but still available on the follow-up. Fox squares it, unable to be controlled. Cartman then on the turn and blocked off the line. Here was Johnson with the intervention. But Albany Creek, they continue to push forward. And eventually Bayside clear their lines. Here's Theodore. And he had open space in front of him, but Ono would not give him the ball. And the defender coming forward now. It's nodded away by Johnson. Weymouth now once again feeding Theodore. You've got Askew making the run ahead of him, but couldn't bring that pass under control. So now here's Theodore trying to close down Lewis, who just sends it all the way back for Royley. Almost able to get that pass around the corner, and that will come back for the free kick. So Theodore's shot coming would have been all for naught if it had have gone in.
I mean, how did Albany Creek not take the lead there? The goal mouth ramble, you love it. Good defending from Bayside United, good goalkeeping up.
So now down goes Street.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good challenge there from Cartman.
And he is continuing the conversation now. And Cartman has been involved in a few of those tonight. He's getting more and more heated. So now Street, whose long throws have been a pretty solid weapon for Bayside, is now down for treatment.
And yeah, Cartman's gone over just to check him out because he knows he's kind of gone through the back there.
Street will make his way over to the sideline. See a couple of players possibly being made ready by Trevor Rodman. And for the time being, Bayside will continue with 10. And Theodore on the turn, able to just shield that one around and eventually throws Fox to the ground. For the free kick there. And that free kick will just have to wait as we've got a change now for Albany Creek. So coming off is Fox, who was one of the players on a yellow card, and Linesman will be 17, Carter Glockner.
No, it's an interesting substitution because Fox has made those bursting runs into the box and he's created quite a few opportunities for Albany Creek.
You can see Mathers being withdrawn. There's Sekulic, who is on in number 8 for Bayside. Sending it out wide, and Street able to bring that one down. Beautiful ball forward from Askew. Theodore trying to play it through, and Sekulic making the forward run, and still here for Bayside, but the angle on that pass just not quite right. I could just overhit that one a little bit.
Yeah, Bayside, they're getting in good areas, but just that final ball now in the second half. I mean, the game's kind of switched. Albany Creek in the first half were lacking that final pass, but in Bayside in the second 45.
We have 10 minutes to get a winner in regulation. It could go either way as the substitutes battle there, Leake and Masters. Johnson wins the ball back, and he'll play Theodore in. Is he onside? The flag has stayed down as he tried to bring that one on. But once again, excellent defending from Lewis, keeping him under control.
Yeah, great defending from Lewis. It's a world-class pass through to Theodore. He does well initially to get that first touch, but
he just knew what was coming and was able to recognise it and get to the ball at the second attempt. Well read there by Ono. He's grown into the game as the second half has continued. Shaughnessy given a whole lot of space this time now. Ono's out of position at the back, and here is Sekulic battling with Brindle South, but he showed too much of the ball to the fullback. There's Askew with the block there that into the throw in, and you can see a few players starting to stretch out. It's been a long season for these guys. Askew getting ahead to it, but Shaughnessy on the ball, and he'll feed it through now. Cartman back for Shaughnessy, first time, and just blazes wide. It's that range for Shaughnessy again.
Oh yeah, he loves that distance. It's a great build-up play with him and Cartman. Lovely 1-2. Shaughnessy runs off him, and the shot just past the post. Bayside just have to be wary. A lot of tired legs out there now.
And it is that big dilemma you've got as a manager as well, knowing obviously this game could go beyond 90 minutes if the scoreline doesn't change. So do you save one or two aces for extra time, or do you try and throw it all out now and win it?
I mean, that's the question, isn't it? That's why I'm not a coach. But
shot taken on from range, Shaughnessy. That was close. Well, it wasn't close, but...
I mean, as we were talking about, Shaughnessy just has so much confidence. You saw the first half where he tries that one from about 30 yards. He tries it again. You know, and like you said, if you have the confidence and you feel like you can do it, then why not?
I was optimistic as well, and Royley, I'm sure he would have been expecting that.
No, he definitely wouldn't.
Would have been a nervous moment, I think, is what I was trying to say.
I mean, if James McFadden can do it against France in 06 from similar distance, and so can Shaughnessy.
See, we could both reference 2006.
That's why I did it.
We're in the closing stages of the 2021 Brisbane Premier League Grand Final. James Coughlin and Alan Kroll bringing you the action here as we are all locked up. Bayside United and Albany Creek battling as they've done all evening here at Perry Park. And now that ball in the box, and just too tall for Cartman. It's a long ball forward and just over the head of Theodore. Russell is bringing it out for Brindle South. able to be kept in, and tight defending from Bayside could be punished as that ball's just over the head of Russell. And he's another player who hasn't had a whole lot to say in this second half, and we've got a Bayside player down as well, so dropping all over as we'll check on the well-being of McDonald, I believe. Bayside physio's been put through plenty of work this evening.
She certainly has. I mean, I didn't quite catch what happened there. Is that McDonald that's on the ground?
Yeah, it is. He was the one involved in that challenge where there was for the handball on Cartman, I believe, that wasn't given, and because I think the hand was about 20 centimetres away from his foot. He struck it, but over he goes, and Donald, who's moved into that playmaking role in the second half of the season, and he's taken to it quite well. It was highlighted by Bayside in terms of his flexibility and that he was able to learn a new role in the second half of the season, and quite well with it. Ball was high into the night sky above Perry Park. Was launched forward, but Shaughnessy unable to get on the end of that. Albany Creek forward. Ono out forward, and was sort of the midsection of Street. There's Theodore. And Snaith will get it on the turn. Leak clipping it through, and it's cleared away, and it was Sekulic who was almost onto the end of that. Now Albany Creek, they could win it here. Cartman, here he is in the box, squares it across for Shaughnessy, cleared away and eventually claimed by Murphy. And that was anything will do defending.
Well, that just comes completely out of nothing there. Bayside just give up the ball on this near side. Ball through. Good save from the keeper. A chance here, a long throw for Bayside, do you think?
Well, that may be their way forward, as I can see another change being made. McDonald is making way. It will be Oliver Foran, big game player who has an eye for goal in the big games, according to Trevor Rodman. So will that be prophetic?
What a time to score this would be.
Here is a long throw, looking to cause some havoc in the box, and not a whole lot was caused there. As well, here come Albany Creek, hits Glockner. And that one is just belted away by Foran. Carter Glockner over on that far touchline. Does have a habit of popping up in key matches. When he was with Lions in 2018, scored the winner against Olympic in that FFA Cup round of 32 tie. So fairly certain Albany Creek would be happy if he can have a similar say in tonight's fixture.
Come on, Brisbane!
And now Askew. Got support outside. It's Ferran. Can he run it down? He cannot. Lewis just reads the game so well, comes across and makes the interception. Ono, who's now pushing forward in that fullback role.
Yeah, you got Alistair Russell's back there, and Ono's up the park at the moment. There's a bit of space.
Russell might be making his way forward, but here's a delivery from Ono, and well, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say he was trying to pick out Glockner. Albany Creek pushing forward. About 2 minutes of normal time remaining. Ono on the ball. Albany Creek pushing for what would be the grand final winning goal. As it's clipped in. Beautiful ball, and that was close. That might have been punched away by Murphy, who's been easily the busier of the two keepers in this second half. Snaith playing it out wide. Here's Glockner. Got options to aim for in the middle. Carter Glockner, a couple of step overs. Got two Bayside players. He's able to get around them and get the cross in. He can't get it beyond Johnson.
That's great play from Glockner. Wide there. He's got two players to take on, and he shimmies inside, he's outside. Can pick anyone out with delivery.
It just shows the benefit of fresh legs in moments like this. Here comes the throw in. He's headed back and eventually cleared away. As Theodore nosing down from behind. Snaith with the outside of the boot. Ball into the box. Ball under control, Moran. Foran. Theodore is bypassed. Instead it goes for Sekulic. Here he goes trying to get around Lewis, but once again, the veteran defender just too strong. His positioning is just too good.
Oh, he's an excellent defender there, Lewis. And Sekulic trying to get around him, but
Theodore now, he's in a little bit of space, and he really thought about going in, and Theodore can only play it off Lewis, and it's going to be a throw-in. And this is the time where you're really glad you got that weapon of Adam Street.
I mean, it's like we said, every throw for Bayside is just as good as the corner.
Sure, and they're coming forward now in numbers, but before they take that, I've noticed Glockner is just positioned himself on the far side of halfway for a possible counter-attack. First they've got to deal with this long throw over the back of everyone, and the header was won by Bayside, but just over the crossbar. Looks like that was O'Brien, possibly, who was...
Yeah, I think it was O'Brien. I mean, it's a great throw right in a dangerous area. Keeper's not sure whether it come out and try and collect or leave it.
It was over everyone. Yeah. That was what was most impressive for me. And we have a couple of minutes of time added on. So, I hope you haven't got plans for the next half hour or so, Alan, because, well, looking like we might be here for a little bit longer.
This is what grand finals is all about, though. Extra time.
Absolutely. It's been a thoroughly entertaining contest, and I've been very glad to bring you on the Football Queensland YouTube channel. That one is fired off Moran for the throw-in. Not long to go. Street just labors towards the ball.
This is it, boys.
Can't get that throw in past Snaith.
That's it.
And the leak is just a little bit too heavy, and Carlton battling for the ball with O'Brien. Centre back commanding control of the ball and just steps inside. Can Bayside fashion one last chance? Here is Ferrant. Inside, plays it through. Here's a skew. Now out. Sekulic with the left-footed ball, and it's off the chest of Lewis. Time for one last corner, perhaps.
That was a good move from Bayside United. Worked out really well. Comes out to Sekulic, a delivery.
And they'll
block from Lewis.
And McMullen's going to have to hurry up because I think I just saw the referee saying, let's get it moving. There's not long left.
I mean, this will be the last chance to win for Bayside for the second half.
Here comes the delivery. McMullen. We're in stoppage time, and it's comfortably claimed there by Royley. Good keeping from the Albany Creek Gloveman. Well one with the header. He goes out wide for McMullen. Time to put another ball into the box. Most threatening of crosses. Out it goes for Snaith. There's space out on this touchline. Moran. Now it's Albany Creek's turn. Can they win the game? Moran is tripped up unceremoniously by Street, and that is going to be a yellow card. But I think he knew exactly what he was doing there.
Yeah, I think they call that a professional foul. And Moran was in on goal if he didn't make that challenge, and he knew it. Albany Creek will want to make the most of this one.
For sure. And it looked like a bit of a tired defensive effort as well, it has to be said. Street.
I mean, he wasn't turning around and getting there, that's for sure.
Street definitely knew what was about to happen and decided that the yellow card would be worth it. Now Shaughnessy. After how many times we've mentioned his name on the broadcast this evening, how fitting would it be for him to have the final say in this grand final? So it's Shaughnessy left foot. This is the right angle. He's got Murphy all the way over on that far post, just inviting the shot. Shaughnessy takes it, can't get it through the wall. That took enough sting off it. Shaughnessy will fire again as it try to flick it on. And here they go, chasing it down. Here's Theodore. It's won by Glockner. And Shaughnessy again from range, can't get it past McMullen. Theodore barrels through Ono. Russell, can he turn provider? Clips it towards the back post. There are two men there. Headed back across by Lewis. Now Ono. I don't think either of these sides want extra time. They want to try and resolve this in the 90 minutes. Ono clips it towards the back post, looking for Cartman. Headed away by Street. And then a mishit clearance.
I mean, anyway will do. Albany Creek are really pushing for the winner. Time's running out. Bayside trying to hold on, I think.
Bayside just holding on. We're into the 6th minute of stoppage time here at Perry Park. Askew going to mystically nod her on for Theodore. And now Snaith. On the right foot. Shaughnessy doesn't compete for that. Now here come Bayside. Forward, and passes once again only able to find Lewis, but the heavy touch is picked up by Sekulic. He tries to go through. And now Stephen Snaith with the steadying presence out on that far touchline. Will just take a moment to size up his options. He'll launch it forward. Shaughnessy using his body to earn possession. He'll cut it back on the left foot and go straight for goal, and it's spilled there, still loose. And a nervous moment once again for Murphy. Shaughnessy firing it across towards the back post. Glockner will play at it. It didn't cross the byline. Carter Glockner driving towards the box on the right foot, firing it towards the near post. Russell's there, but so is O'Brien, and he will just send it over the sideline. Stop. Catch your breath. Take a minute, because we've got another 30 minutes to play here at Perry Park in the Brisbane Premier League Grand Final, Alan.
Oh, absolutely terrific. Like we said, Grand Finals are all about this. They're all about the extra time. Both sides really put in the hard yards, and Bayside held on right towards the end there. They'll be, I think they'll be happier happy that they made it to extra time. I don't think they'll be happy with extra time as the game was going on. Albany Creek did look like the side to score.
They definitely finished stronger, as they did in the most recent meeting between these two sides. They kept pushing and pushing and pushing. They kept peppering Murphy's goal, but just couldn't break it down. And it has to be said as well, Bayside, not as many chances, but they certainly did threaten when they were able to get forward.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a reason why Albany Creek were champions. There's a reason why they're top of the table and undefeated. Bayside can be proud with their second half performance. They dug deep. They held on to the game. They soaked up the pressure. You know, when they got the break, when they had the opportunities, they tried to create something. They had a couple of half chances. So, I mean, extra time, it can really go any way from here.
It absolutely can. And I just wondered, this brief break that we're going to have for these sides, is that going to help Bayside a little bit? They were definitely hanging on for dear life at the end of the 90 minutes, or 96 or whatever it turned out to be with all of that stoppage time for the injuries and whatnot. But for Bayside, like, they can just take a few minutes now, settle themselves, because it was getting very frantic at the end.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they need to regroup, like you said, come out the extra time. Towards the end of the game, you're right, they were just pumping it long. They weren't really getting a foot in the ball. They were losing possession. Albany Creek, they were cemented in Bayside's half right towards that right toward the end of the second half, and I think they will definitely be happy they can take a step back, regroup, maybe sort some things out and go again in extra time. It'll be interesting to see how the legs go in the extra time.
Well, that's pretty much it. Like, you look at the benches for both of these sides, obviously two names that really stand out. Yuta Kasahara, he's a defender, but he is a very attack-minded fullback for Albany Creek. And then they've also got Matt Sanchez they can call on the bench as well. He's a forward who's chipped in from time to time this season. Meanwhile, for Bayside United, that's pretty much it in terms of recognised attackers. Sekulic is an experienced option. He's already on. Foran is the other nominal striker coming off the bench. We've got Billy Theodore, who's a defender. But that's at the moment, that's basically just been the way it's been played out. And the only other name that really leaps out is Geordie Lewis, number 7.
I mean, you've seen in the second half, Theodore was less of an impact. So I think Sekulic will have to try and, get the ball, allow Bayside back up the park, and then hit Theodore when they can. And with the tire legs out there, it might be an ideal to make a substitution at the back line just to cope with the Albany Creek's attacks in this extra time.
You never know, and obviously you've got to try and keep those strikers on for the possibility of penalties as well. So much to think of for both of these coaches, Steve Glockner and Trevor Rodman, but that's why they're there.
That's why they get paid the big bucks, right? Well, I mean, you kind of, if it was me, extra time, I'd be playing to try and win an extra time. I'll be trying not to get to penalties, and be interested to see what they decide to do. Will they try and play on and hold out for penalties if you're Bayside United, or if you're Albany Creek? Are you pushing on to win it in this extra time?
The big question will just be the momentum that Albany Creek had established right at the end of that second half. And you can see in the centre of the pitch, Theodore just stretching out. But one move that has stood out to me is just the way that Connor Askew has just dropped back into a midfield role now, and he's trying to still contribute in attack, obviously, but he's got a bit more of a free role by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think he's been asked to try and win that ball in midfield and link up with the strikers. They've kind of lost that. They lost that play from midfield forward. It was kind of, defenders in the midfield were quite stretched. That's how Albany Creek were wanting them to play. Another interesting thing is if you've noticed, Ali Russell's been played more through the centre, and Shaughnessy's been put out wide as opposed to the start of the game. And that's really, Shaughnessy really started to shine when he moved out on that right side and was coming in on his left side, his left foot.
And just creating a little bit of space. So they've switched sides. And because 90 minutes was not enough, we're going to 120 here in the grand final. James Coughlin and Alan Kroll with you on the Football Queensland YouTube channel, and Bayside from right to left on your screen. And Snaith really going for the spectacular right from the outset here. Brindle South just clipping it forward, finding Glockner. Brindle South just looking for an option. There's not a whole lot of space forward. So he's forced to just play it back for Masters. There's Brindle South once again on the ball, but Bayside just cutting the passing lanes and looking to break, and seems like that's going to be their way forward here in extra time. And I have to say, this match is just absolutely flowing by.
Yeah, it's been a terrific game, a good advert for the Brisbane Premier League, that's for sure. Two real top sides, two real BPL heavyweights. going at it here in the grand final.
And without thinking too far ahead, Bayside probably have to be feeling pretty good about the fact that they're going to have next weekend off and not have to play in that FQPL2 playoff semi-final against Nambour Yandina or Surfers Paradise.
That's Albany Creek will be delighted with that. I think Bayside will be playing that game, won't they? You can just have a look at the way the position to play. Players are positioned this start at extra time. Bayside are shifted a few yards further up the field. I think they're trying to get in the face of Albany Creek a bit more.
Much like how they started the match early on in that first 15 minutes where they were just electric, but now it does leave them open at the back for moments like this. Beautiful ball through. Here's Shaughnessy. Is this his moment? And beautiful save there. Murphy comes up big to deny Shaughnessy.
Oh, great move. A lovely ball to Shaughnessy, and he's got to score that. Big save from Murphy. And it's just exactly what you said, you know, Bayside United pushed that wee bit further forward. Space opens up, and big save. That's what you need from your keeper in this in extra time. I'm sure there'll be more big saves coming up.
And for both keepers as well, while they are obviously still physically drained at the end of 90 minutes, just the mental stuff that they're going through as well, having to just make sure they're on their guard, because as we've seen, both sides happy to shoot from range. Comes the corner, and it's dealt with by Bayside with a little bit of help from Yuya Ono. And it looks like 3 minutes into extra time, Bayside are going to go to their bench. Looks like coming off will be Johnson. And also coming off will be Askew, who scored the opening goal of the match. And Billy Theodore will be slotting in. Here is Theodore's first involvement as he just checks Carter Glockner's run. And now comes the pass for Theodore. The ball is lofted, just not enough. And the other substitution as well, should just confirm for Bayside, was number 7, Geordie Lewis, coming on. Central midfielder. Albany Creek. Just checking it back, Brindle South. So that is Bayside's bench emptied, save for reserve goalkeeper Hislop. But now they're going to have to go on the defensive. Street. Here, and Pat Theodore, he was onside here. Pat Theodore into the box, and Lewis with the recovery. And now here comes the substitute, Lewis, with the shot. There were calls for a penalty there with that collision between Lewis and Theodore, but I did not see a whole lot to it.
No, I think just two players coming together, nothing in it. Lewis fighting really hard to catch up with Theodore. I mean, for a big lad, Lewis has got some amount of pace to keep up with Theodore. Not a whole lot in that.
Certainly able to win a whole lot of foot races. There's Lewis, and then Murphy kept that one in, and that one's clipped in, and it's just off the bar! Murphy, I'm not sure what he was thinking there, but Cartman almost was able to produce a genius moment, clipping that in.
I mean, extra time, you know, you got to be no nonsense. You can't be playing around with it there, Murphy. He's got to clear the ball. Cartman almost counted his lucky stars. I mean, still from that angle, still a tight shot, and unlucky coming off the bar, but I tell you, Murphy needs to be careful.
Josh Cartman to add to his tally on the season, 21 goals thus far. And what a 22nd goal that would have been. And now Theodore, he's in, but the flag is up. However, I do think Theodore actually does have a case there, because it did look like it came off an Albany Creek player.
I mean, that's what it looked like for me. I mean, it did come from the throw. Came off an Albany Creek player, went through to him, so I mean, he's unlucky. I mean, would he have hit the target if it was onside?
Who knows? Well, the practice strike, we'll call it, is off target, so just keep playing as we move on in the first half of extra time. Albany Creek just once again showing plenty of patience and just waiting for their moment to try and break through Bayside's resolute defence. But just going back to the chance that Theodore had earlier on in this period of extra time. Just that speed, that quick closing speed of Lewis, as we just saw there with him closing down on the ball, making sure that Sekulic wasn't able to get on the end of it. I think that's why they've been able to maintain this high line and, you know, basically dare Bayside to try and play it in behind them.
Yeah, well, I mean, sweepers are kind of gone out of the game nowadays, but it's almost as if Lewis sort of plays as that sweeper. Every time the ball goes left side or even up the right side, he's making runs to intercept.
Bayside launching the free kick forward as Billy Theodore. Battling for the ball, as is Lewis, and play it down towards the corner, and now back it goes. Royley will go for the no-nonsense clearance. Street, no-nonsense header. So another long throw in from Street. And he finds a target. It's a long ball in, and it's knocked on towards the back post, and Pat Theodore was lurking. Excellent hold-up play by Carter Glockner. I could have sworn I heard a call for handball there, but I don't think he's got a hand growing out of his chest. Beautiful pass out by Snaith, just perfectly weighted. We'll find the support over on that far touchline, and it's headed away by O'Brien. Leak first to it, and a sand wedge when possibly a lesser loft club would have been appropriate on Sekulic. And then Theodore was clattered into. He feels like it was a throw-in, but seems like that's just frustration really starting to take hold from Pat Theodore.
Yeah, he's not really getting the same amount of freedom as he did early on in the game. Bayside just can't seem to get him in behind or hit him on his feet. He's still a very dangerous player, and anything can happen when he's on the ball.
For sure, and that is exactly why he's been kept on, even though you can see the fatigue starting to set in. Not that he's alone in that situation. Looking across the 22 players on the pitch. And the ball through from Shaughnessy. What a pass! And what saved there by Murphy. He was on his bike there to try and get out ahead of it before that pass was played, because he knew exactly what was coming. But Shaughnessy there, once again, huge block to keep the ball in this half. Now, long ball played forward. It's nodded on. Here is Sekulic. Going to be a throw-in for Bayside by the looks of Street moving over to the ball.
I mean, once again, ball over the top. Who else but Lewis is there to make the interception.
I'm glad they're not asking us to pick the man of the match for this match, because a few contenders on both sides. All right, here comes the long throw in from Street. Theodore got ahead to it, but it's cleared away by Ono. And here comes Ono steaming forward, trying to offer support. O'Brien, once again, providing that safety net. And then Theodore just shielding himself around the ball, and I've seen him do that half a dozen times tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's very fortunate because Theodore, he does really well, puts his body in the line, turns the defender. I think Albany Creek got a little bit lucky there.
But I suppose from the official's position as well, you can see he was more leaning into the player rather than trying to shield the ball. And out it goes for a throw-in as Glockner is unable to keep it in. And Snaith now with the interception, trying that outside of the foot pass again. And then you could see Sekulic knowing exactly what he did wrong there. Put his arms up, I think, before the whistle had gone to the referee's mouth.
Yeah, I think he tried to do similar to what Theodore just did before, put his body.
A little bit difficult to do. Getting right behind the player. Sometimes the players just make the referee's job really easy. And here goes Theodore looking for the through ball, but Lewis able to get the header, and he's going to have to come over and cover again with Sekulic on the ball. He's got options in the middle if they can pick them out with the cross. Brindle South just nods it on. And here come Bayside. Leak looking for the cross. Can't get it by Ono. Billy Theodore. And Leak's touch almost let him down, but he was able to recover. Pat Theodore defending from the front. And looks like Brindle South is starting to feel the effects of this draining contest. And the lunge there from Masters, and he and Theodore are just engaging in a bit of back and forth behind play, but continue for now. McMullen can't bring that under control. Now Glockner. Bayside getting back in numbers, trying to cut out this attack. They've got the numbers, but can they stop them? There they can. Here's Morant. Now out it goes. In comes across, looking for Cartman. Can't get by Weymouth. Here come Albany Creek, in and it's saved and claimed there by Murphy. Another big save from the Bayside keeper, keeping his side level. And you see Bayside, they're just walking as they try and get up and fashion something in attack. They've only got to get through another 20-odd seconds until the extra time intermission, although that's not going to be all that long.
Yeah, Bayside, they're not really committing too many bodies forwards anymore. Well, here they come now.
Lewis playing the ball through. Theodore, he's onside. Can he beat the keeper? He cannot. Well saved there by Royley. And then Brindle South backtracking as well, making sure that the follow-up didn't just trickle over the line. Billy Theodore looks for his brother, but Pat says not this time. Carmen winning another header, but Bayside just able to keep it under control using whatever means necessary, as Leake just did, and now Shaughnessy on the ball, but this is blocked by Weymouth. Ono laying it forward, and here is Snaith. He's dispossessed, but I beg your pardon, that's Snaith there. Masters mixed up, 6s and 8s. And so, 105 minutes, still no leader.
No, I mean, both sides really went. I mean, Bayside United started probably a little bit brighter. They pushed forward a wee bit, but they started to tire, and you can tell by the way the players are walking off the park, they are knackered.
They absolutely are, and it's going to take a moment of magic from Bayside. You're looking at their substitutes to be the ones to really make the difference. Obviously, we've seen Leek, Lewis, Foran, and Sekulic, and Billy Theodore. The Bayside bench has been emptied. And just looking at the fatigue levels for this Bayside team, we're going to need the fresh legs to really come on and make the difference. They emptied their bench 3 minutes into the extra time period. And so these will be the 11 players that will have final say in the match. Meanwhile, there's still a couple of options for Steve Glockner, Kasahara and Sanchez, as we mentioned, as is the left back, Buddy Rahman. And so, just like that, we're back.
I mean, you've seen towards the end of the extra time there when Theodore got through one-on-one with the keeper and made the big save. That's how Bayside will be playing this extra time, just trying to hit on the counter, I think, trying to, get little half chances. And when you play Albany Creek, a side, who are undefeated, you need that little bit of luck sometimes. You just need it to go your way.
And at the moment, they've just got to try and find their way through. And if they can't create that chance, just still stay solid at the back and then eventually take it to the 50-50 chance of penalties. But before we get to that, we've got another 15 minutes of play.
Second period of extra time about to get underway. As we said, the score remains 1 goal apiece in this 2021 Brisbane Premier League Grand Final.
So 15 minutes at least.
You wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh, of course not. This is why we love football. Extra time, drama, a little bit of controversy, but all things we love. And a fairly healthy crowd of Bayside and Albany Creek supporters who have made their way down here to Bowen Hills for this deciding match of the 2021 season. As Pat Theodore tries to bring it under control, but a bit heavy on the touch, Snaith. McMullen. Over for Foran. Shaughnessy, he can still pick those passes, but Cartman can't get on the end of that. And that is the benefit of having guys like Shaughnessy, who, even if they're maybe not as fresh as they were in the first half, they still can just use that magic left peg to try and pick out the right sort of pass.
I mean, yeah, Shaughnessy, sometimes has a wonderful left foot, doesn't he? I mean, that pass through was inch perfect. Cartman just couldn't quite get on the end of it.
I will say those sorts of players, not that Shaughnessy's legs have gone, but when they get older and not quite as mobile as they once were, they can still function at such a high level because of how they read the game. Comes over McMullen, just sizing it up, and ball could come through here. Foran from the tight angle and just puts it beyond the near side post.
I mean, did he make the right decision there? Should he have maybe tried to pick someone out? It's a very tight angle. Hard to find someone in there. I mean, all good strikers would shoot, right?
Absolutely, and it was, for me, it just felt like it was a really brave call going near post, because it did look like Royley had it covered, but he tried to just squeeze it through there. And
the keeper wouldn't be expecting it either, would they?
No, and that's what the keepers always, well, that's what the keepers I've spoken to always say is, like, we're so conditioned now to think, okay, cover the near post so they're going to shoot far.
That's right.
So now Albany Creek on the ball again, but ceding possession. Here's Ono. Bring it out for Brindle South, who has overcome, I'm assuming, was fatigue, and almost a mix-up at the back there for Bayside. And straight through the legs there as that pass is met with raucous applause from the Bayside supporters. Just like that pass out for Ferran. Can he go again? He'll take the shot on himself, and it's spilled there on the follow-up. Pat Theodore, so close, and eventually it's regained there by Royley. A huge moment for the Albany Creek goalkeeper.
I mean, he does brilliantly, doesn't he? I mean, we talk about being brave goalkeepers in that first half. That was terrific. Huge chance for Bayside. Once again, both keepers have been exceptional in this grand final.
They've come up big when called upon, and we now have an Albany Creek player down requiring treatment. And at this point, you really don't blame them, if I'm being honest. 109 minutes plus whatever stoppages were added on. You're looking at about 117 if you add that all together. So we just check on the double cramp. So this is why when you're playing in these local league competitions, it always helps to have a physio or two on your team.
It does, yeah. It certainly does. You want to run out there? Give him a hand.
That's why I'm a commentator. My OP was definitely not good enough to get into physio. And now here's McMullen. The first time ball forward, just can't get it to Lewis, and Snaith outside of the foot again. I'm sure he's not more comfortable trying those sorts of passes than with the instep. And Theodore was offside, so he gives up the chase. Beautiful bit of control from O'Brien, captain of Bayside. And McMullen sending it forward, and he was going to have to head it here, and Royley coming up big once again. He's following the ball up, and will just fire it away. With Street bringing it under control off the chest, looking for the 1-2. Here's Ferran inside, and Street has continued the run. And I'm not sure I can repeat what I think he said when that pass was played that far in front of him.
Yeah, he wants it straight to his feet there, right? He's running in.
Just a bit of a rush of blood there.
Yeah.
From Ferran.
I mean, it's interesting because, I mean, Bayside, Albany Creek were better in the first half of extra time. I think Bayside have been the better in the second half.
Not sure how much more Bayside really have left in their legs, so this could be their last hurrah. They have definitely picked up the pace from the end of the first period of extra time, but once again now it's going defensive, but all read by Murphy. Here Glockner calling for that ball on that far touchline.
Yeah, you can, and you know, Russell didn't even have to look, you know exactly where he was. Murphy quickly out.
It's a high ball for players to get under, and it's a header by Moran. Forward it goes, and Sekulic chasing it down, but Lewis once again just doing what he needs to.
I mean, Lewis has been absolutely exceptional. Like we said, left side, right side, through the middle. He's been the one in the way. I mean, he was a little bit suspect at the start with the long balls into the box, but
settled in very quickly. Bayside now just taking a few minutes to catch their breaths.
Yeah. Who can blame them?
Another long throw in from Street. Aiming for the crowd of bodies, looking for the head of Billy Theodore. Poked on, it hit a hand, no handball. That was eventually stabbed at by Lewis. And it has to be said, the Bayside players didn't really appeal too much for the handball early on.
No, they didn't. I mean, it looked like it did hit a hand, but whose hand did it hit?
And from that range.
And from that range, yeah, that's right.
Insert your own jokes about the handball rule here.
It's a very difficult rule to get right, isn't it?
Yep. That's why I always trust the referees. A long ball in for the head of Billy Theodore, and he was just a bit too desperate to get the ball by the looks of it. As he followed one of the Albany Creek players. And there goes Steve Glockner to his bench once again. And it is the end of the shift for Cartman, who has been immense holding the ball up. He was involved in that early goal. Also coming off is Jay Brindle South. So Yuta Kasahara coming on in 14.
This Albany Creek bringing on their penalty takers.
And probably just some fresh legs as well. They might be feeling like they're getting a little bit overrun here too. And blowing up for a header, and could be on here. Albany Creek, can they win the grand final? And squared across, and a brilliant covering defensive effort from Bayside. It was Weymouth there with the vital interception.
Come on, Bayside!
And now barrels him over. Snaith. In comes the ball into the box, headed away. Yellow card being shown. Firing that ball away. There's a long throw in once again. And the flag has gone up for offside, so that passage of play. Really resulting in too much, and we'll just take a moment with the Bayside players down.
Come on, Bayside!
Number 12 is Jake Hockey. He's been causing plenty of havoc since he came on. I believe it's Jake Hockey, or he's listed as a reserve goalkeeper. We'll just have to follow that one up with Albany Creek. Here come Bayside, trying to break through. Theodore bringing it under control, looking for the turn. Out it goes. And then shot fired in, well saved there by Royley.
That was a terrific strike, lovely first touch. And to volley it from that range, I mean, it's a good save. It's a decent strike.
So the only player that was on the squad provided to us, he's not taking the pitch, is Buddy Rahman, but he was listed in number 18. Be Sanchez. Either way, we'll just focus on the action on the pitch because we are getting down to crunch time here. Ball forward, searching for Sekulic. 2 minutes remaining here. Brisbane Premier League Grand Final. He's headed on. And then sliced back. Weymouth has got to deal with this, and he calmly heads it back for Murphy. Beautiful defending.
After Brian with that miscue, Weymouth under that much pressure, 2 minutes to go, grand final, extra time, and he just heads it back to the keeper.
Now forward it goes once again. Could be free in the box. Here's Shaughnessy. Is this his moment? He gets a shot off. And saved there once again by Murphy.
The ball comes into him in the feet inside the box. Twists and turns. He does hit the target. Again, time running out here.
It's now or never. Here comes Kasahara. He won the NPL with Lions last year. He was a mid-season pick-up for Albany Creek. Can he claim another winner's medal in 2021? Here it is. It could be through. The flag is up for offside, so Glockner will be denied. Be a wonderful time to take a straw poll of the fans in attendance. How are your nerves? So time continues to tick away. Bayside certainly look like they're happy going to penalties as we now tick over 120 minutes.
One minute.
So 1 minute of time added on. 60 seconds. Can someone find the winner? That one's just lifted forward. And here is Sekulic trying to feed it through for Theodore. Now it's blocked away. And it could be on now. Theodore, can he beat Ono to the ball? Ono. Looks like it was caught out a little bit. Beautiful ball in from Theodore, and Lewis. The bounce was just too high for him. And the chance could be on. Albany Creek pushing forward now. 10 seconds of added time in extra time. Soon to go. This could be it. Moran out wide. Looking for an option and a less than ideal pass forward. And now Bayside. Theodore's in space, but Ono got in the way. One last ball forward for Theodore. The whistle goes to the referee's mouth, and it will be penalties to decide the grand final.
I mean, what a game. I mean, a wise man once said, football is life.
And it has been a proper heavyweight fight between the two top sides in the Brisbane Premier League. They've traded blows for 120 plus minutes and could not be separated.
I mean, both sides have had chances. They both feel that they probably could have won it. Albany Creek, you know, they were the better the second half, and the first half of extra time, Bayside had the other. So, I mean, I think on the balance of play, when you're up against, you know, Bayside up against the best team in the league, going to penalties, I think is probably a fair result.
And what a way to end the season as well for these clubs. It's been back and forth. Both keepers have come up big. So before we know who's going to win, I'm going to ask you for a man of the match player from each of the sides, just so we're covered.
Well, I think for Bayside, I think for me it was Askew. I think any opportunities that Bayside had came through him, and when he had to drop into that sort of midfield position to link up with the strikers, he was exceptional. And for Albany Creek, I mean, you know who I'm going to pick, right?
Ryan Shaughnessy. I would have picked the exact same player.
I mean, it has to be Shaughnessy. Every sort of opportunity he was involved in, every bit of play, when it was on his left foot, he always looked dangerous. Unlucky with a few attempts, but like I said, both sides probably deserve to go to penalties.
For sure, and now this all becomes about mental fortitude rather than physical strength.
I mean, who's going to take the first kick, right? That's probably the most important one, I think. That and the fifth.
I feel like in this situation, you probably want to try and put the strongest penalty taker out there first. So,
Which side do you think? That way? That way?
So we're going to have a penalty shootout, I believe, down the hill end of the ground, if history is anything to go by. However, that will be subject to a coin toss. So before the fans make their way down there. However, it does certainly seem like that's where a lot of people are headed. We did have, of course, penalties here in the NPL All-Star game last year between Queensland and New South Wales, both the men's and the women's contests.
I'm sure this ground has probably seen a lot of penalty shootouts.
I was trying to think of the last one I was here for. So based on the number of people that are making their way down to the hill end,
I think they've already got it figured out.
Yeah, and
the fans down the other side haven't quite worked that one out yet.
And just before we do get into the penalty shootout, I think we do have to give special mention to the not-so-subtle flex from Albany Creek we saw in the warm-up when they were on the field behind us, wearing their 2021 Champions T-shirt.
Yeah.
I could not admire that more, to be honest.
And you could tell they're all jogging up right next to the Bayside players, just running around them.
A few of these people looking like they're not overly keen to do the 120-plus yard sprint to get down to the opposite end. But that's where the action will be, down the hill end. They're making their way down now. I'm very pleased to have your company on this superb Sunday night. We've had two very dramatic grand finals to conclude the Brisbane Premier League season, the men's and women's. So it will all be decided from the spot. And of course, if you win the toss, you want to go first, don't you? Put the pressure on the opponent.
Yeah. I mean, I think so, and I think first up has to be your best player. It looks like,
and it is Pat Theodore going first. Of course, we do have to specify which Theodore brother now, considering both he and Billy were on the pitch. So it's Theodore against Royley. There's Theodore, he steps up, and it's saved by Royley. He went the right way, and Theodore, with a tired penalty, was denied.
I mean, he was walking up, he didn't look confident walking up to that penalty spot. And, I mean, even from here, you could kind of see he was shaping up to hit it left. It was a great save, nonetheless, from the keeper.
It was.
Guesses the right way. Could be an advantage, Albany Creek here.
And it is Ali Russell here.
I know that Ali does take quite a lot of Albany Creek's penalties. Usually quite lethal from them.
Making a fairly direct run up. There's Russell shifting around, strikes it, and another save! So the keepers continuing to stand up big after the first round of the shootout.
I mean, they were exceptional over the 120 minutes, and that's two big saves. They go straight down the middle. Terrific stop, though. I mean, for a keeper to guess centre, very dangerous. But when he makes a stop, no one has taken the advantage yet.
No, now it's Oliver Foran, the big game player. Can he hold his nerve? Here's Foran stepping up, stutter step, and buries a penalty. Took 3 goes. We finally have a successful attempt.
That was a good penalty there from Foran. Just side foots it into the far corner, sends the keeper the wrong way. Advantage Bayside.
On his nerve, and now it's Stephen Snaith. We've seen him pick a pass. Can he pick a penalty? And he rattles it off the crossbar. So Albany Creek now trailing 1-0 in the shootout after 2 rounds. And you remember their only other shootout this year was in the FFA Cup against Gold Coast United.
They did lose that one as well. I mean, Snaith, he steps up, he looked composed, he put his foot right through it.
Just tried to cut it a little bit too fine, perhaps. It's Street. No long throws allowed here. And Street, he steps up, goes low, and it is successful. It eventually crawled over the line, but our view was obstructed by another referee in Royley, but now
so unlucky, isn't it, Royley?
Went the right way, did just about everything right. Now a huge chance for Murphy, and all the pressure on Ryan Shaughnessy.
Has to score here.
No ifs, ands or buts about it. A bit of mind games there from Murphy. He's just wanting to check the spot. He's promptly dismissed back to the line. Up he steps, fires it, and puts it into the bottom corner.
I mean, that is a perfect penalty kick. Right into the bottom right corner. I mean, Murphy guesses the right way, still can't reach it. Terrific penalty from Shaughnessy.
When you pick your corner, hit it with enough power, and you cannot stop them as a keeper. Now here's Lewis, the captain.
O'Brien, the captain.
O'Brien, sorry, got my number 4s mixed up. Getting caught up in the moment here. There's O'Brien. Give him a 3-1 lead. O'Brien stepping up, stutters, and rolls it calmly into the bottom corner.
I mean, again, that was a very cool, composed penalty. The run up, just walks up, and he just passes that right into the bottom left corner.
And now, all the pressure is on Albany Creek. And Murphy once again engaging in mind games. If he can save this penalty, Bayside win the grand final. Up he steps, stutterings, and puts it away.
Another good penalty. Again, bottom corner, sends keeper wrong way.
And Aaron Weymouth, the central defender. The game rests on his boot. He was huge at the other end, blocking several key Albany Creek chances, and now he can win it. Some mind games away from Royley. Up steps Weymouth and blazes it over the bar. And so Albany Creek have another life.
I mean, again, he steps up, he puts his laces right through that, gets underneath it, flying over the bar. I mean, where did the pressure get to him there?
And here we go, it's the other captain. Lewis, he's been immense. He's got to hold his nerve here. 3-2 in the shootout. Up steps Lewis. And it's saved! Bayside win the grand final! Murphy is the hero in the shootout, making 3 saves. And Bayside can celebrate. They've spoiled Albany Creek's party with a 3-2 victory.
I mean, some of the penalties were quite good. I mean, that is just an unbelievable save there from Murphy. And Lewis steps up, He looked composed, the captain taking on the responsibility. And Bayside, I mean, they probably deserve the victory, really. I mean, they're up against such a tough opposition tonight, and they held on for 120 minutes. They get to the shootout, and they've won the grand final.
And it does also just show on the other side just what it takes to try and defeat Albany Creek. Their 2 losses in 2021 have both come via a penalty shootout.
I mean, it's phenomenal. I mean, again, they've gone through 120 minutes undefeated. I mean, they'll be disappointed losing this one. They had their chances to win it. I mean, Bayside, I mean, they will be over the moon, beating the champions or the premiers.
And it does not take any shine off Albany Creek's season. But this has been Bayside's night. It is Bayside's time. They win the grand final. It was a spectacular match, a draining match, and one that I cannot wait to go back and watch again on replay. Alan, final thoughts?
Well, like I said before, Bayside, I think over the full 120 minutes, the way they held on, the way they fought for everything, they probably just nicked it. Albany Creek will feel really hard done by. But again, penalties, it gets to penalties at 50-50. Congratulations, Bayside.
Absolutely. Congratulations to Bayside. That brings down the curtain on the 2021 Brisbane Premier League season. Thank you, everyone, for your company watching all the matches. I'm James Coughlin from Alan Kroll. This has been a Double Take Sports production for Football Queensland. We'll see you later.
I know Bayside played football to celebrate with their players, but if we can ask the playing coaching staff to come over and we'll get the presentations underway, please. If I can ask the Bayside players and coaching staff over and we'll get the presentations underway. conscious it's late on a Sunday evening, so we will get the presentations underway, please. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Berry Park for the 2021 Brisbane Premier and Capital League Final Series. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we work and live, and today we meet, spectate and play football, whilst recognising their continuing connection to land, water and community as the oldest First Nations in the world. Today and always, we pay respect to elders past and present. We recognise the country north of the Brisbane River as the home of both the Turrbal and Yagara nations. Before we get into the official side of things, which we will make it quick this evening given the timing, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank a few people and organisations for their support. Firstly, to the Brisbane Strikers Football Club, Bruce Anna and Evans, Bruce Dinsdale, Bobby and Ray, thank you everything for hosting us today and the last few days this weekend, as well as your support going forward in the future. Can I have a round of applause for Strikers, please, at Berry Park? To the Football Queensland staff and across the Metro competition, specifically Sarah, Sam, Harry and Liam, for their hard and tireless work throughout 2021. There's been many challenges that have presented themselves, but the team have grouped together and delivered another fantastic season. So a round of applause for those guys and our events team who have delivered this weekend. Thank you very much. And most importantly, can we have a round of applause for all of you, the players, the coaches, the spectators, the referees, all our volunteers, our administrators, our club committee members. Thank you for everything you've done to make 2021 the success it has been, given the many obstacles we've faced, be it on or off the field. To the presentation side of things, can I please ask our four officials this evening to come and collect their medals. Thank you for obviously everything you've done tonight. Appreciate it. Can we hold off on the booze? Can we hold off on the booze? Thanks once again. Excellent, thank you, gents. Down to the game itself, it was a to and fro affair. Both teams had plenty of opportunities, and obviously they were only separated at the end by penalties. Can I give a big round of applause for both teams and both sides, because for me that was the tensest and tightest game we've had all weekend. And I think we're still collecting our breath at the moment. Unfortunately, only one team will come away as winners this evening, but I'd like to call Sean Lewis, the ace captain to the Malak. He's gone through the regular season undefeated and won the Canali Cup, and he's been a fantastic custodian and representative of the Albany Creek Football Club once again.
Congratulations, Bayside. Hell of a game. You guys came out, really played it hard. But at the end of the day, one team wins pens. So congratulations, Bayside. Well deserved. Thanks for everybody that came out, especially the A supporters showed up. Huge numbers today. Thank you. To a hell of a season with the boys. We did the double. Couldn't quite pull the triple, but it is what it is. And we'll move on to FQPO2 next year, and we'll do good things as well. So let's go. Do I call it? All right. Steve, Snake, come on. Quarterback Floyd. Utah. Josh Kaufman. Brian Chauncey, Kelly Rahman, Foxy, Ali Russell, Matthew Sanchez, Jake Hockey, Jared Moran, Harrison Orlin, credit themselves. Kyle McLaughlin. Yuya. And the boys, so Alex. Come on up. Steve. Andy. And Dan, come on up. Out of my mind. Sorry. Your 2021 Brisbane Premier League Premiers, Canada League Cup winners, and tonight's grand final runners-up, Albany Creek Excelsior. Bayside. Thank you. As I said earlier, unfortunately with penalties, only one team can come away with the win. Deservedly tonight, it ended up in Bayside's favour. Can I ask the captain of Bayside to come forward and say a few words? I'll get you to collect your winner's medal first, if that's okay. Oh, well. Look, I'd probably start off with Albany Creek. Look, you lads went undefeated all season for a reason. You're the class, right through to the end. Show your heart. It's always such a good member. Yeah, well done to you guys, mate. For the supporters, incredible. We had about 55 busloads come on down and show heart. Support us right the way through. Massive. Can't thank you enough. So, huge hand to you guys as well. Now the boys, well, hard, 90 minutes, 120, right the way through. I'll keep it short and sweet because we've got some celebrating to do, but well done lads, let's hope that can happen. Ryan, Chris Ladd, Eddie, Johnny, Ollie, Streety, Mykonos, Paddy, Cozzy, Geordie, Stephen, Blair, Aston, Abs, Ryan, Billy, Milan, Trevi, Big Ox, Kim, and John Boyd. The 2021 Brisbane Premier League Grand Final winners, Bayside United. Thanks once again to both Bobs for finalising a huge weekend of football we've had here at Ferry Park. Thanks once again to everyone who attended, to the Brisbane Strikers Football Club. Can I ask, as you depart this evening safely, that you make sure you take your belongings and any rubbish with you and ensure that you leave the home of football in Brisbane the way you found it. Got plenty of football to come over the coming weeks. We have the NPL Women's Grand Finals next weekend, the NPL Men's in 3 weeks, and an NPL Select in both the men's and the women's playing the Brisbane Roar in a month. Enjoy your week. We'll see you shortly.